Now 4:02 p.m. and Monday, April 27th, 2020, and we'll call the meeting to order. And we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, which, oh, wait, I got to take my, hold on, let me take my virtual background off so that we can see the flag.
Ah, there it is.
All right. So, I pledge allegiance
to the flag
to the
United States
of America,
to the
and to the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Awesome, thank you. Every morning on my agency call, we do the same thing with my little flag. So, okay. So is there anyone in the council chamber for citizens open forum?
No, there's not.
No, there is not.
No.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, look at you. You're at the park, Felicia. That's perfect.
Oh, wow.
That's the best virtual background of the day. I like that. That's perfect. You need a newer picture, though, because I don't see our memorial out there.
I think I'm standing in it.
No, there you go. There you go. That's awesome, though. Okay, so the first item is approval of the minutes from January 27th. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
Fine.
Is there any discussion or any corrections to the minutes? Okay. And instead of trying to do it audibly, let's do it with a thumbs up. It'll be easier to count.
Well, actually, for the record, I'd like to do a roll call on these votes, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay, you got it. Perfect. In fact, you said that in the Zoom meeting protocol, and I forgot that. So, all right, so we're going and we'll go through with a protocol. Do we have, first of all, a motion to approve the minutes dated January 27, 2020?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll second that.
All right, did you get that, Frank and Mark?
Yes.
All right, and now she's going to roll call for approval.
Frank Chicolo,
Yes.
Carrie Blett,
Yes.
Mark Brill,
Yes.
John Paskert, John Paskert,
Yes.
John Ruckert.
Yes.
Approval of minutes dated January 27, 2020 passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
All right, wonderful. Next item on the agenda is the all-inclusive conflict monument update.
Memorial Day
also-
ceremony.
I'm sorry?
The Memorial Day ceremony is the next item.
Did I somehow just skip right over that? Yeah, I did. Okay, Memorial Day ceremony update is the next item on the agenda. I apologize. So it's probably obvious that there's no way that there's going to be social distancing lifting of enough people to be able to have our normal memorial ceremony. But I had spoke to the mayor before his the last council meeting, as we were kind of chatting through things of, you know, what's to come and what's Oldsmar going to be willing even themselves to take on as a risk. And one of the things that the mayor expressed to me is that, you know, we've done very well in Oldsmar. I think our count, unless it's went up since last week, is only at 7. And while the lessening of opening things up, et cetera, throughout the state and the county is obviously going to occur, you know, are we really going to want to most of the people that come to our ceremonies are just not people from Oldsmar. You know, they come from other cities, and we really wouldn't even have a way to say, hey, if you're not in Oldsmar, you can't come, kind of a thing. So that makes it very difficult to see what the way ahead is, even though it's towards the end of the month. So I wanted to just first open up kind of that, laying it out. What's the kind of discussion that you guys think of? Is it even a possibility?
I had a meeting today with the director of the VA. We had a phone meeting, and they're canceling theirs over there at Bay Pines.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else?
I would just say for the safety of everybody, and like I says, most of the people that come to our Memorial Day ceremonies are in the probably danger zone anyway with the age. I'd say I'd vote for a cancel for this year. And it'd have been a nice idea, but sorry, due to circumstances beyond our control, we gotta play it on the safe side.
Yeah. Jack, you also agree? Chris, or Chip. Oh, I said Chris.
What about, and I don't know if this is possible, and I've heard some other cities had talked about it. I don't know that any are doing it, but a virtual type thing where maybe the speaker is still willing to speak in a Zoom type setting, or maybe there's a way that we could produce that virtually. Just throwing that out there so that we still capture the, the day, albeit modified. But I bet you guys maybe talked about that if nobody's thought about that.
Yeah.
That's how Bay Pines is doing it. They're having their speaker on virtual. They're going to have their ceremony like that.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking about that too, where we could potentially, but at the same time, I don't know if we have the resources to give it the justice that it would get. And so we could kind of chat about that. My thinking would be that it would be difficult to us to be able to put the reverence that it would have virtually. And that maybe when we find out, hopefully they'll televise something from Arlington or, something really grandiose where they have the way to make sure it's safe, but give it the awe that it should have as such an important day. And we advertise on, our website, we advertise that, hey, we can't, do it for our city ourselves, but please tune in or go to this link on Memorial Day and let's all, just watch together this really great ceremony or whatever. I don't know. That was kind of my thinking, because I don't know, but I want to see what you guys think. I don't know that we have the resources in such a short amount of time that we would be able to do a Memorial Day ceremony and give it the proper justice that it deserves.
The only reason Bay Pines is doing it is because it's much, much bigger. Okay, they're doing it for the county, and they already put everything out already. So that's the only reason they're doing it, and they're only doing it with their speaker. So,
yeah.
We're a lot smaller. I think it would be more of a hassle than it would be serving any purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we would lose a lot of the sincerity and the being at Memorial Day and a very solemn type of day, and then you have possibly a singer up there, and it's like, does that really lend to it? Or your speaker, and he's speaking to a camera, and what kind of audience are we going to get? It just seems to me, anyway, that like I said, it wouldn't lend to the value of the Memorial Day.
Agreed.
Plus, a lot of these seniors wouldn't even know how to even get on it.
Yeah, maybe not.
If they have a computer,
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie, you're quiet. What do you think?
Well, I think we probably have to cancel it. However, I might drop by unofficially and keep my distance, whoever's there, and give a salute and a prayer just for the sake of the
Yeah.
people.
I was thinking too, if there's a way that we could, not with a group or even the board, maybe if just one person, maybe it's John or somebody, that if we still ordered a wreath and placed it there.
You mean for anybody that passes by or anybody that's
Unannounced, no schedule, it's
You don't even
placed so that
advertise
there's no
it or whatever.
correct. Right. But it's there, like first thing in the morning, it's there, and people can see it, enjoy it during the day.
Yeah, and then we could even, I could walk across the street and take a picture of it, and we could put it on our website and say, in honor of.
Although aren't florists closed now?
Oh, yeah, they might be.
About that.
Unless they're opening up May 1st. I don't know.
True, it's going to be at the end of May, so they may, because I heard something one of the florists was saying, if we are able to open for a big day like Memorial Day and Mother's Day by that time, then they're going to have to order stock and get things in and stuff, so they need some prep time, so
Right,
we'll see how that goes. But if we have the opportunity, maybe we can do that.
right. Okay.
You would think anniversaries and birthdays is essential.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion before we bring maybe a motion forward to officially cancel Memorial Day as it is on the schedule?
I think the wreath thing would be a nice idea, just to place it if possible, if the floors are open, or they actually have, if you can sneak into Michael's or whatever, they have those fake ones that look pretty real, memorial wreaths there, and they actually are open.
So, Mark, are you proposing a motion that we cancel Memorial Day and replace that, if possible, with placing a wreath on that day in the park?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second that motion.
Is that okay, Ann?
Yeah, I think really it should be to recommend for the mayor to cancel the ceremony.
Oh,
and
yeah,
for
that's
staff
right.
to
Okay.
place. Yeah.
Do we have a council meeting before? Okay, so you want to revise the motion, Mark?
It would be the board's recommendation to the mayor.
In order to, in
Yeah,
order,
and the board felt like it should be canceled, and that's up to the mayor to decide whether it will be or will not be.
and if possible, at least place a wreath. All the mayors even here, look at that. So, how you doing, Mayor?
I'm good. I hope you don't mind me jumping in for a moment.
No, we're honored to have you at our Veterans Board meeting.
Well, thank you. I have to apologize because I'm so accustomed to most of our meetings being later in the day. I was waiting around till 7 o'clock, which means I'd have met by myself. So,
That's no excuse.
I know.
Right, that's right.
Hey, have you guys already discussed Memorial Day?
Yes, in fact, we're about to take a vote. We have a motion, it needs to be second, but we have a motion right now to cancel, to recommend to you, to the board, to the council, to cancel Memorial Day ceremony. And if possible, if Chip is able to secure a wreath, to just, without any announcement or anything like that, but just at least place a wreath at the park on Memorial Day, and maybe we'll take a picture, put it on the website, and just say in honor, of Memorial Day. So that's the motion. In fact, we need a second.
No, Frank seconded that, didn't he?
Yeah,
Okay, so you were the second. So Mark is the motion, and Frank is second. So I'll turn it back over to Ann for her roll call vote.
Frank Chicolo,
yes.
Carrie Blatt,
Yes.
Mark Brill,
Yes.
John Paskert,
Yes.
John Ruckert.
Yes.
Motion to recommend city council that the mayor cancel the Memorial Day ceremony and the staff place a wreath if possible is passed with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Perfect. Great. So the next item on the agenda is the all-inclusive conflict monument update. And if you're on the website, there is a link that you can click and take a look. I think this was the same thing that we had previously, Chip. Is that correct or not?
Alexis, you want to tell them what we have?
So there are several options on the pictures. I have to first of all thank Barbara Schulte for doing the work of putting these.
Can I interrupt for 1 minute?
Sure.
Thank you. I actually was trying to get on in case you had any questions regarding Memorial Day. And clearly, I think too much of myself that you would have any questions, but I did want to try to make myself available to the board. I appreciate you taking action on it. I think it's a wise choice. And I did ask the county administrator as well as the sheriff on Friday what they thought about any Memorial Days being held. And they echoed the thought that they thought it was unwise. They didn't anticipate that there would be any that would be held. In addition to that, they haven't showed us their plan because like everybody, we're sitting around waiting for the governor's plan to come out, right? And so that's going to dictate what they can have in their plan. But I asked the question specifically because they do have a plan already. They're just not making it public until they know what the governor's is in case they have to change it. So my point is, whatever's in their plan would preclude any public gathering of greater than 50, I believe. So in any event, I won't intrude on your meeting. I always try to let the Citizens Advisory Board do their own thing. I'm not crazy about when elected officials are there, and that includes me as well. But I just wanted to pop on in case you did have any questions. I appreciate your service, and we'll make the next event twice as big somehow.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Thank you, Mayor.
Sounds good. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
all.
joining.
Thank
Matt.
you.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, so so on the all-inclusive conflict monument, I do have it pulled up, and so you can go through it with us. One thing I wanted before I forget to mention is the Post VFW, Oldsmar Post VFW has donated $1,000 to the board, which has been deposited to go directly towards this all-inclusive monument. So we already have $1,000 towards our monument, which is awesome. So I wanted to make sure I said that. Thank the Post publicly on record for their donation. So take it away and bring us through the and did you want to, are you going to share it, or is everybody looking at the these?
And
We don't have a mechanism to share it on Zoom that I know of, so
Yeah, Zoom
people should be
can
looking
share
at their
it.
packet.
Here, I can share it real quick if you want. So hold on, let me share that screen, share, and I'll bring it back.
Hey, and I'm going to have to come to John for my IT.
Yeah, right. There you go. All right, let me open this thing up. And okay, do you guys all see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll scroll through as you talk through the options with us, if you'd like.
Oh, that was actually different than the one that was originally sent out, where instead of them being, there were just two lines. The top part was the same, but the bottom part actually had two lines. It started with the Revolutionary War and ended with the Iraqi War. Okay, but I had brought a piece of paper before all this was going on, and I had mentioned to Ann that according to the VA, all the wars weren't on there, but I'd have to look at that again to see if all the wars were
There's
actually.
5 different options.
Okay.
So let me scroll through them. So, and the first option it shows is just, it allows for one more line of wars, but it's kind of spaced out with line separators. And then there's this one that has a quote at the bottom with line separators. And then we get into the column format, 2
Right.
columns with 1 extra space. And then And then we get into 2 columns, a little bit smaller with 3 extra spaces. And then the final one is 3 columns with place for 2 extra, future wars. I know which ones I like the best. But these are the options so far.
I think what Mark said, we could always add at the end of it where we have still 2 lines and any other conflict in war.
Yeah.
Apply, because you got Bosnia, you got there's a lot of conflicts going on. So that would take care of all that.
So, looking at the list, if you want to, do you have that list right now, Mark, of?
Yeah, the one from the Department of Veterans Affairs I do have. And I could just read it off and you could.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, read it off.
The American Revolution.
Yep.
War of 1812.
Yep.
Indian Wars.
Okay, we know that. Okay.
Mexican Wars.
Yep.
Civil War.
Yep.
Spanish-American War.
Yep.
World War I.
Yep.
World War II.
Yep.
Korean War.
Yep.
Vietnam War.
Yep.
And then the Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Yep, or Persian Gulf War is the way it's written here, which I think is fine, Persian Gulf War.
That's fine.
And then do you have the Afghanistan and Iraq?
I do not.
Well, VA's listed very good.
Well,
Cold War was missing as well.
And well, Cold War, I don't know that I would put the Cold War on here. That's
well, the other one they did have on there was the Global War, which I believe was inclusive.
That's part of Persian Gulf War, the global war on terrorism.
Okay, I thought that was actually part of the Afghan and Iraq War.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, no, what am I thinking?
So the Persian was fine or whatever, and that may be part of that. But anyway, after Vietnam, Desert Shield or Desert Storm, whatever that is, and then you went to Global War on Terror, which would have covered the Afghan and Iraq wars. But being you have it spaced out like that, I think that's nice there.
Yeah, and I think I actually personally think the wording that the VA had for American Revolution might be better than Revolutionary War. I don't know, what do you think?
Where are we at?
So we have the very first thing we have listed is Revolutionary War.
Yeah, American Revolution.
Yeah, I think it should be written as American Revolution.
Okay.
If we can fit it.
Right, yeah.
So
Cold War staying on there?
I don't know. I wouldn't think it would stay on there. It's not, I mean,
Not recognized as anything, and
no, it's not
I see a lot-
recognized as an official conflict. Of any-
Correct.
No, I guess we could do since American Revolution's so long, could you abbreviate American or Revolution and cut out the war? I mean, the people would know what it is.
Yeah. So you would put what for the Revolutionary War?
Well, abbreviate either American or abbreviate Revolution. And then you could put war. There has to be who's our English professor?
Well,
Somebody knows how to do that. I mean,
most of the time you see the American Revolution written as just the American Revolution, not the American Revolutionary War.
right.
So
But I mean, even if you put American up there, that's going to go all the way over into World War I. You see the spacing that they have on it.
Well, you're getting rid of ARY space WAR. So you're getting rid of 7 characters. And you can see Spanish, they have it further into the
Okay.
So I think they could fit American Revolution there. We can have that check and see.
Right, we don't need to get technical, because if you're going to get technical, Korea, Vietnam, they weren't wars, they were conflicts.
True.
Correct.
So maybe we should get technical on that and list it as Korean conflict and Vietnam conflict.
We can.
So it
I
would
don't know that anybody knows. I mean, for your general public, we do as military know that it was a conflict, but I'd say 80–90% of the people don't. You know, they just know Vietnam War. That's
Yeah, but every one of us old farts that go over there and look at it and it's not right, we're going to go, that's not right. Why didn't that Veterans Board do that correctly? So I want to do it correctly.
I know when I come back, I caught hell from the World War II vets.
Yeah. So, so if we change Revolutionary War to American Revolution,
okay.
and then if we take the Cold War off and we change Korean War to Korean conflict, Vietnam War to Vietnam conflict, and then we have the Persian Gulf War, and then we could just write it as GWAT, Global War on Terrorism. But you're saying the GWAT encompasses the Iraq War?
I thought the global war on terror encompassed that, but I may be wrong on that.
So we can do a little bit more research.
Because it has the global war, what's written here is the global war on terror, including Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraq Freedom, and ongoing conflicts current with the statistics for the Department of Defense. So the global war on terror does include Enduring Freedom and Iraq Freedom.
Although and it might be, but Enduring Freedom, it might have been leading up to, I don't know. I think it might have been GWAT, but then when the Iraq War, when it became a war, I think that probably pulls it out of GWAT. But I mean,
Okay.
we could do some research on it, but I would think that the Iraq War would be listed as a separate line item.
Okay, we're keeping the Iraqi war, and I mean, technically, I guess like you said, you could keep the just eliminate the Persian Gulf, not the Persian Gulf, my bad, but eliminate the Cold War and change the revolution.
Yeah, and then leave everything else the same. We could do
Yeah,
that too.
and leave everything else the same.
Okay. Now, was the Afghanistan, was it an actual war, or was that one conflict?
Conflict.
I don't know that.
There was no war declared.
In Afghanistan?
In a conflict.
Yeah, I'm looking up online. The Afghanistan was actually part of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So really, we wouldn't list Afghanistan war as a separate item. But what we could put on there is that's where we could put Global War on Terror or GWAT.
I'd put probably the global war on terror.
Yeah. If we could fit Global War on Terror, that would probably be best. So to recap, changing Revolutionary War to American Revolution, remove Cold War, leave Persian Gulf War, get rid of Afghanistan War, and instead put Global War on Terror, and then leave Iraq War.
And change Vietnam to
and then change Korean and Vietnam to conflict.
Right.
Got it.
Okay.
And then I kind of like the 3-column one, this last one. What do you guys think?
I like the last one too. And then I just noticed they put the space medallion on there for the instead of just having the 5.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So whoever did that was pretty good.
Do you guys like the number 5
The number 5 with those changes.
with the changes?
Okay.
Now, in designing this monument like this, we don't need to like vote on it, or do we, Ann? I mean, we can. That's fine.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that you need to vote on it if staff is clear on the direction.
Yeah, you guys clear with what all we said, and
Well, I would think that everybody would at least put a vote into, what if somebody likes number 3 or
well, that's true. So
not doing extra paperwork for Ann, but just it's like, hey, that's really nice, but what about number 1 or 2 or
yeah. Well, let me show everybody all 5 of them again. So that's number 1. This is number 2. Number 3 in 2 columns, leaving 1 space for something. Number 4, leaving 3 spaces. Well, actually, it'll be a 4th space because we're going to get rid of the Cold War one. And then the last one is 3 columns, and we'll have actually 3 spaces because the Cold War goes away. So if you want to kind of go through everybody real quick and say what your favorite one is, and we'll see if we need to, have further discussion.
It was that last one that had the 3 spaces, right?
Yeah, option 5 is the one with the 3 columns, and after taking out Cold War, we'll have 3 spaces.
Well, hopefully they never see another war conflict, but the 3 spaces might be good for, in the future for Oldsmar.
Yeah, other conflicts and other wars things. Hopefully no more wars, but there might be conflicts. Yeah. All right, so Frank, which one do you like best?
Number 4.
Oh, number 4, not number 5.
Yeah, number 5, I'm sorry.
All right, number 5, okay. And Jack? 5, okay. Carrie?
I kind of like the symmetry of 1, but
Oh, 1.
5 is fine by me.
So you like 1, but 5 is also fine.
No problem. Yeah. No
Okay.
problem.
And Mark?
5 would be fine. I like 5 with the changes.
Okay. And I like 5 with the changes also.
Do we need a motion for that?
We can go ahead and do it to make it official if you want. If you want to put together a motion for the changes and accepting number 5.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion on the changes that Mark said and the number 5 one that we're looking at, that we accept that.
Okay.
I'll do the second.
All right. And then Ann?
Frank Giacomo,
Yes,
Carrie Blatt,
Yes.
Mark Brill,
Yes.
Jack Paskert,
Yes.
John Ruckert.
Yes.
Motion to go with or approve the changes as discussed on the list and select option 5 passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Okay, just one other thing, before it gets, not being corny, but cut into stone, we'll get a view to make sure everything went as we said.
Yes, we will.
Perfect.
Okay, all right, just like, hey, I thought we said this, and
Yeah.
before they start
Cutting.
jumping along. Great, thank you.
And do you have, yeah, go ahead.
So what I'll do, based on the changes that were just provided, I will do a write-up. I will take it back to Barbara for her to go ahead and make the changes. And the changes will then be sent out so you can just double check for correction spelling and everything else before we go ahead and get it moving to go on stone.
All right. Perfect.
Good.
Now, Ann, can we do that via like an email back acceptance of it to meet Sunshine, or do we have to come together again, or?
I could forward the final design to you, and then we'll just give like a period of time for anybody to bring up any objections to it, to me, and then not instead of to the board, but just directly to me, and we'll take care of it.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Good, good, good. Well, I'll just keep on showing the agenda here since I'm sharing so we can see the next item on the list. Okay, so the next item is discussion on the Veterans Advisory Board patriotic shirt design. So we talked about in the past having something that has us stand out and look good. We have these events that we'll hopefully get back to at some point. And I believe, I know with all the quarantine, I don't know if that's happened or not, but Carrie, did you, or was it Frank? Who was somebody was looking into the design with Dunedin. Was that you, Carrie?
I think
Go
I
ahead.
think I did show you the one that we had with the flag motif. I can go in the closet and show it right now, I guess, with the video, if you want.
Sure.
Okay, while he's going into the closet, there was a place where we
And
purchased.
then coming out of the closet?
Wow, that's
Yeah,
funny.
normally they come out of the closet, not in the closet.
Okay. Anyway, I was supposed to pick up a catalog with all the different designs in the shirts, and this is where the Purple Heart purchases all their shirts at. And it's a place that's on Belcher Road. It's called the Athletic House. And so in the near future, or maybe when we can get to a side meeting or the quarantine or anything else is over, I could bring you that book once that store opens up again. And they'll pretty much design whatever we want.
I know Knights of Columbus uses a place off Racetrack Road for all theirs. So maybe we could just compare prices.
Right.
Yeah, and then the one that Carrie uses in Dunedin, and they do the VFW are really good deals too. So we can just kind of compare the three of those.
Can you see this now?
Yeah, that's the design with the, anything I think that would be, patriotic looking like that to have us stand out, have the city logo on it and our name. I think would look nice. A little worried about, all that white, but I guess I can keep myself clean for that long. Frank, you had a shirt from somewhere I think I saw you wear where it's like the entire thing is a flag or something, isn't it?
No, not me.
No, that wasn't yours. Oh, maybe that was who's the guy that used to be we've had him as an MC before. I'm trying to remember his name. But what do you guys think about like the design of Carrie, or do you want to check with each one of the three places that you have and see what they have and we kind of make a decision on something next time or something?
I'd like to be able to go to that athletic house and bring some designs or pictures or whatever back along with prices. And I do know of that shirt, and I believe where that was purchased at, because the short time that I worked at Bell's or whatever after I retired, that's where they had those shirts at. The ones that you were talking about with the one with an entire flag.
Yeah.
So yes, I do remember those. I do remember somebody at the event wearing one, but I also remember Bell's was the main one that sold it, and it kind of had a semi-stiff collar on it. It was a nice shirt. It looked good.
Okay. So I think, basically we'll put something together. We've got time now since we're not going to have a Memorial Day ceremony, but hopefully we can put something together, kind of vote on it for the next meeting. And 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 go with a design, and maybe we can all look into a design and see what we think with some pricing or whatever. Now, Ann, is the city willing to purchase these shirts, or are we buying them ourselves?
Well, part of that'll be depending on the cost of it. So what you guys settle on, we'll kind of figure it out from there.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, so I don't think we need to really vote on anything. That was just kind of that discussion to put it out there. And for the next meeting, anybody that wants to come back with the design, please come back with a price so we can make a decision and go with it. So we can have it before, God willing, we get to meet for Labor Day.
Okay, so you want this to be on as an agenda item on the next meeting, or are we trying to decide this before the next meeting?
I mean, our next meeting is July,
27th.
and I mean, are we going to have anything for the 4th of July or anything? I mean,
No.
I doubt it. So, I mean, I think July would be fine unless you would want it sooner to be able for funding or whatever.
No, that's fine.
That'd
I
be
just
fine.
wanted to
Okay.
make sure I understood.
All right. So yeah, if we can have an agenda item next time and we all do our homework to bring something back with pricing for the next meeting. All right, awesome.
Okay.
Right. But just to back it up a little bit, is the memorial and the placement going to be available for Veterans Day? That'd be for Alexis. Alexis, is he still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Will that be doable?
That would depend on how long it takes to get it, because we have to get a quote on it and also for completion. I would venture to say, given the time we have, if I can get this back to you all, within the next 2-3 weeks for final approval, I would say by Veterans Day, I don't think that would be a problem.
Okay, I was just wondering,
That'd be a great time to dedicate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said Labor Day earlier. I meant Veterans Day. So.
Okay. Well, what I would do, I would make that a goal for myself to have it completed before then. So that'll give me more reason to push for it.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, because that'd be nice. You said you had to do a lot of replumbing out there anyway prior to putting the placement of this.
Right.
You had to move a lot of the sprinkler systems or valve systems or whatever out there. So that's why I thought it was going to need a little bit more work than the one for the Purple Heart.
Not much more. I mean, there's only one valve to move, and it's not going to be a major issue. The guys have done this kind of work numerous times before, and as you know, Carrie will be the person who will be putting the bricks like we did. He knows what needs to be done. It'll be a group effort. You just have to sketch everything out on a time sheet, and we'll get it done.
Oh, great! Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. So, all right. So we'll move on to board comments. Guys, anybody have anything for the board today?
I guess I could have saved that question for board comments.
That's okay. Mark?
No,
Anything else?
I'm good right now. Thank you.
All right. Carrie?
I'm good, thank you.
Jack?
None.
Frank?
Good.
City, anything else from you guys?
Yeah, Alexis, I can't remember off the top of my head. How much was the Purple Heart monument?
I think we've got like 12 in for it.
How much did we spend on the Purple Heart?
That was 11 and change.
So it came in under our budget. So the reason I'm asking that is that the city has $12,000 set aside in the budget for this monument. One of the discussions at one of the previous meetings, we had talked about individual awards and acknowledging those. So the donation gift that was given, is that something you'd rather hold off on and do something different instead of, because we're already going to be able to cover it with our general fund money. So, why take the donation money of $1,000 when we already have money set aside and use $1,000 for something else in the future, or the individuals that we were talking about? That may be some discussion in the future that we have.
Yeah, I mean, if we already have the money to pay for the entire thing, the VFW did tell us, when they gave us the money to use it for whatever, we need it for.
Okay.
So if we could keep that in reserves in case there's something else that is over budget or something like that we're going to do, if that's possible, then can we do that?
I would think
Sounds
so.
good.
Anne's got a wrinkled look on her face, but
I don't see Ann. Let me see Ann.
Well,
Look at my face.
that's a finance question.
yeah. So can we ask you to take that to finance to find out?
Yes, we can find out.
Okay. All right. So we don't need the answer right now, but that's a great question. Thanks, Chip. So, I do want to make one comment, and that is really appreciate the way the city, I mean, here we are in quarantine, but they're still out there keeping everything beautiful. Veterans Park, right across from my house, obviously, and it just looks great. And the light on the Fallen Soldier Memorial looks great. So, really happy. And I just want to, publicly thank the city and all their work to keep everything looking wonderful.
I do want to say, and thank you for acknowledging that. Those guys work hard. Sometimes they don't get a lot of recognition. They're just the guys on the ground. They're doing their job. They do take pride in what we do, and Alexis kind of instills that in them. One of the things that you guys will be happy to hear is we just purchased new benches that are going to be replacing the ones that are rusting out over there. I think they're aluminum powder coated, so they should be able to hold up to the weather for a long time.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
We were hoping to have them in before Memorial Day for the event, which we probably still will have them in by Memorial Day. We just won't have the event, but so
Right.
yeah, so that's going to really make it look nice.
Wonderful. Good deal. Thank you.
I also would like to say that the city is doing a great job with the park and everything else. I have people come out to our ceremonies, and first thing they tell me is, Oldsmar is really a veteran-friendly city, isn't it? And I said, yes, it is. So believe me, look at the other cities and then look at Oldsmar, what we have. And we should be thankful for that, the veterans that are there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, if there are no other board comments, do I have someone to make a motion for adjournment?
I guess for the final board comment that hearing that Jerry Walters is not doing well, or he's under the weather, whatever the case may be, make it official that we're wishing him the best of health, and I hope he has a speedy recovery.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Mark.
After that said, you're still looking for a motion?
Yes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
And can we just say all in favor?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Uh,
All opposed? Crickets? Okay, so this meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is July 27th, 2020 at 4 p.m., hopefully in the council chamber. Hey, thanks everybody for being here and participating, and we'll
I think this was our first advisory board meeting that was virtual, right, Ann?
Yes, it is. It's actually the first
Yeah, good
virtual
job.
board meeting at all. Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
Good job, guys.
All right.
Good job.
Do a lot of firsts.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, everybody. God bless to all of you, and stay safe.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Take care.